Hello you guys and welcome back to my channel. I cannot believe that my pyjama pants is stuck in my chair. I cannot believe that the first half of season 9 is already done. It feels like literally yesterday we were starting with the premiere and everybody was like, oh my god, Rick's leaving. Now Rick has left, Jesus is dead, Maggie is gone. There's a lot happening. I just want to talk about a few of the standout moments for me for this season because there was a lot. First of all would be any scene with Daryl and Rick. The two of them together this season, they were just incredible, and I think it was so much more effective on the viewer because we knew that Rick was leaving. So seeing him and Daryl together was just, oh, that scene down in the little dirt hole where Daryl and Rick were like having a couple's tiff. They were having a couple's argument, and then Rick was all, brother, come on, get up out the hole. I was like, oh my god, I wish I had a friend like that. Also, my mic is too far away from me. Jesus! I started recording today half ready. I also love the scene where Daryl spoke a little bit about Rick after he left, where he said, we never found a body. That is just so true to Daryl's character, that Daryl would continue looking for him, and he would just be out there with his dog, like, Rick, are you there? What's he expecting to find? Is he expecting to find Rick's body? Rick is a walker? Or is he just hoping that he doesn't find him so he can hold on to that hope that he might be alive? I don't know. I really enjoyed Andy's exit. I would have been so angry if Rick hadn't gotten his movies. If Rick had just left the show in that little helicopter with Jadis, I would have been so pissed off because I'd have been like, there's more to his story. What happens now? But we're getting the movies. We're hopefully going to get some kind of explanation or closure. So I'm cool with it. I found the show post-Rick has been a lot less messy than I thought. I was honestly like, how is it going to work without Rick? Spoiler alert, it's working pretty fucking well. No disrespect to Andy because I love him and I do feel his absence every fucking episode. But it's working. I love the time jump. I think it worked really well. I feel like once we start to get flashbacks of what has happened since Rick's death, that things will start to click into place and stuff. But I really have enjoyed the time jump as well. Jesus' death. Hands down, biggest smack you in the face shock of the season. Wasn't expecting that. Even as it happened, was like, yeah, but he'd be fine, And like a lot of people have commented on my reaction video laughing at that, but I genuinely thought, well, he's just a little bit stabbed. He'll live. People have survived worse in the apocalypse. Coral got shot in the eye socket and lived. So I thought, well, he's just a bit stabbed. He'd be grand. They'll fucking stitch him up. Enid will stitch him up. Would be fine. No, it's looking like he's dead. I can't believe Jesus has gone from the show. And Maggie just left. She just upped and went, bye-bye, Jesus, you can run Hilltop. Tara is presumably going to be the leader now because she stepped in as like leader when Jesus was away, even though Jesus was leader when Maggie's away. So like they're all sub-leader. I don't fucking know. The Whisperers. Sneaky, creepy little bastards that they are. So fucking eerie. I loved it. I loved the scene in the graveyard with all the smoke. And it's really mean, but I loved how Jesus died. That sounds so fucking weird to say out loud. He thought he was just going to kill the walker, but no, the walker did a little dodge and stab. It was so fucking well done. I was like, bitch, what the fuck? Also, can I just point out, I don't mean to be mean, okay? I don't think that Daryl would have had the brain capacity to look at a walker on the floor, slice off its face and go, hey, there might be a person under there. I don't feel like that's something Daryl would have had the brains to do. No pun intended. But apparently he did. Also, I talk a lot with my hands, so I'm just going to address, this is a sensitivity test. I'm going to dye my hair in a while, just because I know there'll be people like, Katie, what's on your wrist? Did you get a black smudge tattoo? No. It's a sensitivity test. We're going to dye our hair, motherfuckers. Anyway, Carol is something that, oh God, I loved her. I loved her this half of the season. We have her as a mommy again, which must be hard for her. It must be really hard for her actively like adopting a child after Sophia. We've seen her get close to kids in the past. Izzy and Mika, little freaky fuckers. But we haven't seen her actually like be a mother. And she's a proper mother to Henry. Henry's another kettle of fish. We'll talk about him in a fucking minute. Her relationship with Ezekiel is still going strong. They're still in love. And I'm like, you motherfuckers, give me hope. The hair growth I've kind of gotten used to. It's still kind of weird. And every time she comes on screen, I'm like, oh yeah, that's a thing. But I've gotten used to it. Henry is like... He's a tough one. He's gone off to become a blacksmith. I mean, why not? We saw peer pressure. We saw kids like, let's have some drink and play with walkers in our hole out the back. Poor Henry. Didn't know what the fuck he was getting himself into, but I have a feeling he's not going to be friends with those little motherfuckers considering they left him. So, I wonder is he going to take on certain parts and characteristics that Coral had. Like, he's like a teenager in the apocalypse, struggling, trying to find his way through life, but if anybody's going to be okay, it's going to be him. He has Ezekiel as a father and Carol as a mother. This child is destined to survive. Then we have Enid. Lads, she has me all kinds of fucking shook. She's dating, what's his name, Alden? I was thinking, oh, she's going to get with Henry. Oh, it's going to be cute. And then she's out in the background making out with Alden. When did that happen? Speaking of when did that happen, Rosita and Gabriel. What? Also, on top of that, presumably Rosita and Sadiq. Because we had that scene where Rosita was in the bed and Sadiq was up sitting beside her, like, holding her hand. And when she woke up, he was like, it's okay. And it was just... that wasn't a friendly kind of comfort. That felt like, oh, Sadiq, you're either trying to get into her pants or you have been in her pants. And does Father Gabriel know about this? Does he know? I'm presuming not. Poor Father Gabriel. Speaking of Father Gabriel, so this kind of only popped into my head the other night, right? Father Gabriel was with Jadis. Jadis had a helicopter and was like to Father Gabriel, we can leave, we can go straight to life somewhere, it's going to be fantastic. And Father Gabriel was like, no, I gotta tell Rick, you know that, right? And then Jadis was like, lol, fuck you, I'm leaving. So Father Gabriel knows there's another community out there. He knows that Jadis had a form of travel. She had a form of getting there. Did he just tell nobody this? Because if he turned around to Michonne, or to Maggie, or to fucking anybody and said, hey, you know my girlfriend? Yeah, she told me there's a community far away from here and she was going to bring me. She had a walkie-talkie and everything. So, did he just not tell anybody that? Because again, if he did... I'm guessing people would put 2 and 2 together and go, oh, so Jadis fucking left. The day that Rick died, we heard a helicopter hovering. Because let's face it, there's no way they didn't hear that helicopter. That shit is loud. And they were on the bridge. I'm guessing somebody heard the helicopter. So if Gabriel had told somebody about the Jadis situation, somebody would have rubbed their 2 brain cells together and gone, well, we heard a helicopter that day. Maybe Rick isn't dead. Has any of the characters put that together? Another thing that has me like, what's happening is the X's. The fucking X's. On Michonne's back and Daryl's back. What's that shit about? So interested to find out what that means and why they both have it and who else has it that we don't know about. I'm really loving the new group that we've been introduced to. To be honest, I was just really excited to see them. Strictly because of the guy from Fantastic Beasts. You guys know I love Harry Potter. I love the Harry Potter universe. I have a Harry Potter tattoo. Then again, there are very few things that I don't have tattoos of these days. But I love Harry Potter and I love Fantastic Beasts. And seeing a fella from Fantastic Beasts be in The Walking Dead has me like, oh my god, the stars are aligning. I'm in my heaven. I'm talking really fast this video. I should really try and slow the fuck down. Negan is now out. There wasn't any big prison break or big conspiracy. He just opened the door and was gone. I thought that was funny how easy it was for him to get out. But Father Gabriel was the last one out of the cell. He forgot to lock it because he was all angry because of Rosita being missing. Poor Eugene has a fucked up leg. I'm trying to kind of follow back what we just saw in my head and I'm getting fucking muddled up and confused. Eugene's in the graveyard but he's alive. Good for him. There's just so much to see. It feels like an awful lot happened this season because it did. 6-year time jump. Rick died. Jesus died. Fucking Gregory got killed. Maggie left. Am I forgetting anyone? Everyone's hooking up. Everyone's having kids. People were angry about Jesus' death because they felt that over the duration of the past few episodes that Jesus and Aaron were kind of being set up to be a thing. And I have to agree. I felt that. I mean, you know, they were snaking off for secret meetings out in the fucking grass and stuff. I could have seen them together. I could have. And it did kind of feel like they were planting that a small bit. You know, because they were playful and they were cute together. They had that little fight in the field. That doesn't sound romantic, but you know the scene. So I feel like they could have done something with those 2 characters romantically, and they didn't. And I'm like, but we get Rosita and Gabriel. But I have really enjoyed this season. I'm just kind of sad now that I'm like, oh, fuck's sake, I gotta wait until February. But I have really enjoyed it. I feel like it has been consistently good. And that's a hard thing to pull off. But, you know, everyone that works in the show, they kind of knew that they had to step everything up after Rick's departure. And they fucking did. Fair play to them. I loved this half. But there were so many elements of this half of the season that I loved. I loved Daryl speaking more. I loved the more dialogue-driven scenes we got, particularly the one between Jesus and Tara, where Tara said to him, like, look, you're the leader, you know. And the same thing was said to him by Aaron as well. Everyone was like, step up, man, you're the fucking leader now. I guess he's not the leader anymore. He's kind of dead too soon. So I feel like, yeah, I've just really enjoyed this. I just thought I'd touch on a few things that I liked. I know I probably forgot about stuff, and there'll be people remind me in the comments about the stuff I forgot to yap about. But it was just a short video to let you guys know my thoughts and stuff. And in keeping with my new outro for my videos, I hope you guys have a lovely week. I will talk to you all soon. And the video is ending now.